evening, everyone. Welcome wherever you're listening from, West Africa, Europe, the Americas. You're welcome. We have a great spaces today. We want to talk about building a career in tech, right? How to start, what to do, what should we look out for, and all that. So, we talked about this last week about tech. I asked a few folks to send, you know, pointers to the non-tech folks per se on how to get into tech, right? And I got a lot of data back, and it was just overwhelming. I'm not a tech person. I don't speak tech. So I just said, listen, it's best to just bring an expert in here that does this, that has held people's hands and has been able to go and to essentially get this done right. So this is what we've done. I brought in Mahi. If you guys don't know her, I put her profile up there, and she essentially this is what she does for a living, right? Or does as a side gig. She helps folks get into IT, into tech. She's able to say these are the skills necessary for you to get in. She's a tech recruiter and investment bank. She's helped people find their way through tech. She's got lots of resources, how to do interviews and all that, what you should look out for, essentially, how you should approach this journey. So I'm very, very pleased that we asked her and she said yes to come in and just talk to us really about this topic. Again, I'm asking questions as a novice, Mahi. I see you. So forgive me if we ask. I want to break it really down. I'm going to assume I'm an 18-year-old guy, and I want to ask you a question, all these questions, right? So Mahi, hi. Well, welcome on mute. Say hi to everyone. Just introduce yourself, and then we can get started.
Hey, hi, Balu. Hey, everyone. Thanks a lot for hosting this space and inviting me up here as a speaker to speak. Hey, everyone. I'm Mahi. I'm currently working as a senior tech recruiter at an investment bank in the US. It's a Fortune 50 company. And I've been in the tech industry for over 10 plus years as a tech recruiter. And I've evolved working with multiple industries, multiple types of companies, like both product companies and startups and big tech giants and so on. So I've been in tech for 10 plus years. And apart from that, recruitment is my day job. And I'm a content creator and blogger by night. I do create a lot of tech content on YouTube and on social media like Twitter, where I post a lot of threads and tweets in terms of free resources for anyone trying to pivot or just get started in tech, want to learn and grow in tech. Resources, free certifications, internships, return to work programs. You search it, you would find it on my timeline. And I also help a lot of job seekers or tech aspirants across the globe. I've helped around 200 plus tech aspirants across the globe who is trying to pivot or get started into tech in terms of their upcoming interviews or just help in terms of how to put across their resumes and LinkedIn profiles and so on. I do all this for free. I do not cost anything, but it's just something I'm helping people do. So yeah, this is all about me, and I'm really very glad and happy to be part of this space, answering all of your questions, and let's get more people break into tech.
Mahi, thank you again for doing this. I mean, the CV just reeled out, and you're doing this for us just to guide us. We can only just say thank you for now. But let's just start. Let's get going. Let me assume I'm an 18-year-old guy, right? Or let's say 22. I'm just out of university. So I'm going to ask you two questions in one. What strategy? How can I approach getting into tech? Should I study the skills to get me into tech, or what skills are those employers looking for? Should I work with the answer in mind, or should I just do what really I like per se? How should I approach this as a 22-year-old guy just leaving university? Yeah.
So if you're in the university, I would always say do something you really like. There are so many skills in tech. There are too many skills for you to choose from. And if you're in the university just getting started, you have lots of time to explore and do your research, right? So you can experiment understanding various skills. Just do a Google search, try and see what are the trending skills in the tech industry, like you have cybersecurity, data science, designing, product management, coding, so on. Just experiment and just try and understand, okay, what does a designer do, what does a developer do, what does a product manager do. Try experimenting to find your niche, and once you find your niche, I guess it just becomes easy for you to identify the industry you want to work for, the company you want to work for. So if you're in college, this is a right time for you to develop your skills. Like in the tech industry, apart from your tech skills, employers seek a lot of interpersonal skill sets like communication skills, collaboration skills, your presentation skills, articulation, thought processes. So while you're in the university or while you're a student, this is an ideal time for you to improve and develop those skill sets, and then eventually identify your niche, right? So once you get into the corporate world, you might not have a lot of time to experiment or do your research. So utilize that time now as a student in just experimenting, play around with technical skills, connect with people to see what exactly is your interest, what is something you really want to build a career on. And I always say it's important that you build a career on something which you're really interested in. Because that way you would grow in that particular industry, because you're interested in doing it, you would put in more efforts in learning it, you would keep track of what's happening in the industry and so on. And so for that, you really need to just find your niche.
Gotcha. So it's more like if I'm in college, you are asking me to sort of don't pigeonhole myself, broaden out, learn other skills, personal skills, networking, working with teams, broaden what I'm learning in universities. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes, yeah. So just broaden your skills and experiment with skill sets, just because you have a lot of time, right? So you have time to identify what is it that you're really interested and you really want to do. So university is the time where you can network with people or improve your skill sets. Like if you feel you're someone who is not great in communication skills, or you're someone who have the fear of public speaking, that is the time where you can develop and improve on those skills. And eventually those skills will definitely be helpful. Once you find a job, you would sound more confident and you can articulate things better.
Excellent. So what if I am now like, I am employed, I already have a career, midlife, right? I want to change careers. I'm leaving Nigeria to say Canada or to the United States. How should I approach this change in career? What should I do? Is it going to be the same? I already have built my skill sets in, say, finance or in engineering. How should I transition now? Should I look for the employer and then work backwards to, okay, the employer wants this skill? Or should I just, what should I do? Exactly, again, I'm lost here, right? I'm moving to a new country. I want to learn new skills. What should I do?
So if I understood your question right, Kalu, you're asking like if you come from a particular industry and you want to transition into tech, or want to like relocate to another country, what is one supposed to do, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it's in tech. Tech is really very diverse, and tech is multiple, and it's really open across different industries, right? So tech is there in healthcare, tech is there in retail, automobile, finance, fintech, and investment banking. So if you come from a particular industry or a background, say suppose you come from a finance background and you want to pivot into tech, your first preference must be looking into fintech or investment bank kind of companies, because that way you can transfer your or transition your skills better. You would still be in tech, like you can start as a compliance security analyst or in cybersecurity and so, or as a risk management officer, you still have the background of finance. You're able to transition and pitch yourself better, and you are getting into the tech industry and working in the tech roles. but from the background you come from. Now, in terms of the countries, there are a lot of countries like Europe, UK, US. All of these countries have a lot of tech opportunities, and I think it's just up to the individual's preference of where they want to go and why they want to work. Each country has their own different set of rules, different set of visa processes, and so on. But if someone is looking for a tech job abroad, like in one of these countries, on my timeline, there's a pinned tweet on 10,000 plus tech jobs that's offering visa sponsorships. I would suggest you look into that tweet. It is for different countries, US, Canada, Europe, UK. You would find jobs where companies are willing to provide and sponsor your visas. So I would suggest you look into that tweet.
So write down that we can. If I want to go to Canada, I can go to that link, click Canada, and I can see the opportunities that are willing to sponsor me from Nigeria to Canada. Is that it?
Yes, that's right.
Excellent. So it's more like what I got from that was, if I am in engineering, I should look for the tech skills or the tech jobs in engineering, but in tech, sort of like what I know, or sort of like I want to techie, if I can use that word. That's what I hear you say.
Yeah, I mean, say for example, if you are a mechanical engineer, right? That's your educational qualification. I mean, you don't really need to have a computer science degree in order to get into tech, right? But if, say for example, you are a mechanical engineer, and if you want to get into tech, right? There are a lot of roles in the automobile industry where you can utilize that degree of yours, because anyone who does any of these degrees, you're putting in a lot of time and effort already, right?
Yeah.
So why put that degree to waste? You can utilize or get into industries where you can, it just becomes easy for that person to pitch themselves in terms of why they're wanting to get into this particular role or industry. So if you are a mechanical engineer, automobile industry also uses tech. It just becomes easy for you to transfer your skills and pitch yourself better, because you already have the industry knowledge. You know what's happening in the automobile industry.
Yeah.
So why not utilize those skills? Like I can give an example of myself. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, right? And currently I'm working as a technical recruiter. So when this question is often asked to me, why do you want to get into tech and why do you want to get into recruitment? It just becomes easy for me to articulate and pitch myself, because I have a bachelor's in computer science. I understand the skill sets of what the tech industry needs. And it just becomes easy for me to identify the right talent because I have the basics.
Excellent. So guys, I've shared that link. Is it 10,000 tech jobs with visa sponsorship? It's shared both on Mahi's and on my timeline and on this tweet line. So just go in there and click on that link and then see those opportunities. Mahi, just a question that came up, I just want to ask you, right? Do I still need traditional education like a BSc if I want to get into tech? Or do I need the certifications like the Googles or the Microsoft? Is BSc, say, computer science or going to university, is that still required to work in tech?
No, absolutely not. You can get into tech irrespective of the background you come from. You do not necessarily require a bachelor's in computer applications to get into tech. Like I said, tech is really very diverse. There are a lot of roads open. You can still get into tech without having a bachelor's degree. So that's totally okay. It's not mandatory to have a computer science degree. Now, in terms of certifications are good to have because it provides you a credibility on your resume that you have knowledge on that particular skill set. And I would also suggest that if you're doing certifications, do certifications that are project-based, like you're asked to do a project at the end of the course in order to avail the certificate. So that way, you're putting all the learning in the in the course into good use, and you can just it just adds a lot of value to your certification if you're doing certifications where you're asked to do a project or an exercise. So that way you're taking up all the knowledge, and it also just becomes easy for you when you're looking out for jobs, because you not only just have a certification just for the name's sake, but you have a certification where you have done some actual work which you can show to the employers.
Is there, I mean, is it a good question to ask the top skills or the top certifications out there that employers are looking for right now? Is that a good question?
Yeah, I mean, it again depends, Kali. Like, for cybersecurity, there are certain set of certifications which the employers would definitely want a candidate to have. It again depends on for what kind of skill set. But again, if you are trying to get into cloud, right, cloud computing, having an Azure or a Google Cloud certification definitely adds value. So there are certain set of certifications that are really highly recognized in the industry. But at the same time, it's not that you must have a certification. Like I said, it adds a good value. It again depends on the kind of skill set you're looking at. So not all certifications works for all the skills. So it again depends. So it's skill specific.
Gotcha. And like my final question before I open up the floor to folks, I want to ask a question either via DMs or audio. It's going to be: is there any suggested pathways? And we've talked about the college side. We've talked about the graduate moving over to say a new country. In your experience speaking to people, is there any suggested pathways? Like if you had to design a pathway for someone to get into tech, how would it look like?
I don't know. For me, I did not follow like a roadmap or a pathway. Like I said, I wanted to get into development myself, but then tech recruitment happened. I just fell in love with tech recruitment, and then I am here today. But I think it's all about experimenting and growing along the way. So I mean, if you are just getting started, right? Like if you are someone who wants to be a developer, I can say you can get started by learning JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. It will open a lot of opportunities for you. But it again depends on the kind of skill set you want to choose. And then you can create your own roadmaps that way. So, I mean, I did not follow a roadmap per se, but then there are people who do follow a particular kind of roadmaps. Again, it is skill specific. So, I mean, I can connect people to specific industry experts if they want to follow a pathway or so. But It's all about identifying your niche, connecting with people, networking, and doing a lot of project-based learning so that you identify those skill sets and learn those skills. And then it's just about experimenting, right? Tech is all about experimenting. The more research you do, the more you experiment with yourself, the more you identify yourself, and then eventually I think you would find a role that's something which is of your interest.
And I've heard you mention networking 3 times now. So I'm just going to say, should we talk about networking? Is it that key a factor? If I just have the skills and I stay in my basement, am I okay? Or do I also have to have those soft skills to talk at a cocktail party or to meet people? How big is networking in tech?
Like networking is, I wouldn't say like it is it's like a key factor, but it's always good to be open to network, because when you network a lot with a lot of people, right, you are learning from different industry experts, you're learning from different people, and you often find these terms being said on social media and everywhere that network is your network. Because it's often in tech being so competitive industry, if you have a good network of people who are ready to vouch for you, it's easy for you to get in jobs, right? It's you can just reach out to your network and say like, hey, I'm looking out for a job and so skill sets. Let me know if any of you are hiring or if you have referrals. So it just becomes easier for you to find opportunities that way. So it's good to network, because while you're networking, you improve a lot of skills yourself, like in terms of communication, you overcome the fear of public speaking, you get a chance to meet a lot of industry experts and so. So
Gotcha.
It's always good to network.
Excellent.
And that definitely helps.
I agree. I completely agree. So, guys, now the floor is open. I'm just going to run through. So, please keep the questions to like about a minute. We've got lots of requests. Just go straight to the question and ask Mahi. Keep it short to a minute so we can just get through all the requests. Baba Ghana, how are you? Good day, sir. You can unmute and go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, so I don't have any questions specifically, but I was just wondering, from folks' experiences, how do they see the difference between people that came from software academic background, for example, and those that are mostly self-taught, like those that play to their advantage?
Interesting.
Is there any preference over the other, for example?
That's a great question, Mahi. And just to give you some context, there's a report, I think it's IFC and Google, did a study, and the largest concentration of IT workers, right, is in South Africa. The second place is in Nigeria. But in Nigeria, the bulk of the IT that are network here is self-taught. The bulk of them, more than 50%, i.e. they didn't go to any school, they just taught themselves, either in groups or informally. So great question, I would say, from Bagala.
Sounds good, thank you.
So Mahi, go ahead. Could you give some?
Yeah, a lot of people I know on Twitter, some of them are really doing great as self-taught programmers, self-taught designers, right? I know some of them are here down below in the listener section.
Yeah.
A lot of them are self-taught. So I don't think there is any difference when a person is hiring that if you are a self-taught programmer or a self-taught techie or you've done some courses. So I don't think that's a matter of a criteria for anyone to take you. If you have the knowledge and if you can pitch yourself better, then like you said, Kalu, majority of the people today in tech are self-taught techies. So they're doing good themselves. There are so many resources out there, free resources and websites, YouTube and so on, where you can learn things by yourself at your own convenient time and space. So it's always good that if you can learn things on your own, then so that's not a criteria for companies to hire.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Let's have Roy. Roy Biapara. Hi, Roy.
Hello, Kalu.
How you doing?
Hi, and hello, everyone. My question is two-pronged. In that I'm into risk and compliance with a lot of cybersecurity. As a staff of a company, I also run our own company where I do training. Now, some of the challenges we have, I'm based in the UK. Some of the challenges we have, we're not supposed to have the kind of challenges we're facing right now, in that people get trained, sometimes very good training, but the jobs they're not getting the kinds of jobs they're supposed to have. They've acquired the skills and they're struggling. And so it's very complex, if I may say, and I don't want to express everything here, but I'm asking to see if the possibility for remote working exists over at where you are based.
Mike, did you get that question?
No, I think.
Roy, are you asking? Roy, could you be a bit more direct?
There's too many factors.
Right. Okay. I'm asking about the possibility of getting remote jobs for people that do get the training, quality training. Is it possible to get remote work over in the US where you are?
Yes, getting remote work in any country has become a little easier right now. But again, in remote work, right, there are actually two factors. One is a global remote opportunity, and one is remote specific to that particular country, right? So when people are looking for jobs, I guess they must look for, they just need to read through the jobs to see if it's remote for that particular country or if they're accepting applications globally. So, like you were saying, Roy, sometimes they might not get to hear back from the companies or employers, maybe because they've applied for remote positions, which is specific only to that country. Like a lot of jobs in the US, they would say it's a remote opportunity, but you must be present in the United States to work or apply for that job. And they are not accepting candidates or applicants from any other country apart from US. So these are the different types of remote opportunities. But yes, people can search remote opportunities specific to that country or for global country. I do know certain companies like Amazon, Microsoft, they do hire applicants globally. Like it doesn't really matter from which part of the globe you are supporting them. But I think it depends from skill to skills. For certain skills, there are opportunities. For certain skills, they are not. You just have to put in a lot of research in finding the ideal opportunity that way.
Thank you, Mahi. Thank you a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to go to, he's dropped Olowo. Hello, Mr. Olowo. Oluwafemi Emmanuel. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's 4:25 a.m. I'm reaching out from Japan.
Oh, nice.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm a teacher, and I want to translate to tech. But the area in which I'm looking out for is Scrum Master and Project Management. I don't know if my can help out where I can learn this, learn about this, and also the prospect in the future after I'm done learning. Thank you.
Great question.
I do have resources on my timeline for free project management certifications. I can pin the tweet on the top of the space, so you can utilize those resources in understanding and learning project management. And then, in terms of where you can find those opportunities, please send me a DM. I can connect you with a few people I know on Twitter who specifically hire for project managers.
Oh,
and they can help you.
Wow, nice.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
Nice one, Mahi. Thanks, Mahi. Please go ahead and pin so we can just follow. I do appreciate that. Let's have Annie. Did I get that name right? I've got Annie_man.
Yes, Kalu, thank you. I just wanted to piggyback and answer to the question that Roy asked about the remote opportunities.
Okay.
So definitely there are a lot of remote opportunities that you can find. The only challenge that you'll face is you have to prove yourself. You should have a strong portfolio. And the one way of getting the strong portfolio is having a great GitHub repo as a developer, if you are a developer. And the second one, since your question was very specific to cybersecurity, there is something called bounty hunting. And you can bounty hunt and you can report the bugs to the big companies. And that's the another way to pitch yourself when you are looking for remote opportunities. You can tell them that you have reported and found these bugs in big companies, Microsoft, Google, and they will also reward you for that, and it will also help you build your portfolio. So that way you can also find remote jobs.
Interesting.
That's all I have to contribute.
Annie, thank you. I mean, that adds some should we say, thank you so much for that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, not a tech guy, but I hope Roy is listening and everyone else listening. So, I mean, thanks for that. Mahi, that was good. Ifeanyi, let's go. So let's just keep the questions short. We've got lots of requests. How you doing, Ifeanyi? Go for it. Ifeanyi, you want to unmute? Ifeanyi going once. Okay, let's get Joe. Sentence 103. Go ahead, sir. Hi, guys. Okay, Joki. Please go ahead, Joki.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Mai. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. So, basically, I'm currently a product manager with Amazon, but I'm just wondering from a recruiter's point of view, how do you think the recruiting AI technology will that scans your CV? Because I've noticed that with most applicants, it's not like they're not qualified enough, but they're you hardly get a call back from recruiters or from hiring jobs because of
Jockey, you cut off a bit. Mahi, I think he's.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I just say, how can you beat the algo that scans CVs for jobs and all that? That's what I heard you say.
Yes. Yeah.
So a lot of these companies have something called the application tracking systems, which sometimes the resumes can get rejected, maybe because of certain keywords that are fed for them.
Can you hold on, please? Go ahead, Mahi. Sorry about that.
Okay, so there are certain websites where you can put in the job description, feed in your resume, and scan to see how much is it application tracking friendly, just so that your profile surpasses the application tracking system and does not get rejected there. So I would pin a tweet on the top of the space for those resources as well. So you can just utilize those if you're looking out. And again, it also depends on the way you structure your resume. Sometimes I have noticed that candidates do not optimize the resume as per the job description. So that is also one reason why they don't hear back from the hiring managers or recruiters, because you might have that experience and you might be highly skilled, but on your resume, you are not mentioning the skills the company is really looking to hire people on. So you must optimize your resume. And when I mean by optimizing, I don't mean you fake stuff or claim stuff on your resume that you do not have knowledge on. You must look into the job description to see what skills are they emphasizing more on. Like if you're a product manager, they would say we're looking at product managers who are specifically having experience in cloud or risk management or networking. And if you have that experience, you just need to probably bold or highlight that experience on top of your resume or on your resume, so that your resume surpasses the application tracking system. And also when it reaches the recruiters and hiring managers, they know that you have experience, you have that experience of what they're looking at. So I would just pin the resources on top of the space.
Excellent.
Please feel free to go through it.
Thank you so much again, Jockey. Jockey, that was excellent, really. Good job there. All right, Praise. Let's have you answer. Praise, go for it. Lord Hyacinth.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Kalu. Hello, Mai. Thank you for this opportunity. Sometime last year, I actually started off on data analytics. Now, one of my questions is, creating a portfolio has been an issue for me. And so I want to find out, is there a particular way, like how does one go around creating a portfolio? That's one. And then I find out that there are times when I actually start out on it, especially when I've actually had talks with one or two people, but along the line, it becomes kind of boring, sort of for me. So what can you say about that?
So in terms of your portfolio for data science, I think I cannot answer the question because I'm not from the data science background. But Kalu, if you can just bring up Animan, the one who spoke before, he can explain in terms of the portfolio aspect. But if you could just if you could just talk through what your second question was, because I guess that wasn't clear for me a little bit. So if you could just,
I've sent him an invite to him if he accepts. So Animan, if you accept, you can just go ahead and interrupt and just explain. But I've sent him. Yeah, he's a speaker now. Yeah.
Okay. So my second question is that now along the line, when you start off on a particular path in tech, what happens when you get bored? What happens when you kind of fall out of love with that particular path? What happens? You look for a different path entirely. You try something new. Like I don't know. It's been an issue for me, finding my footing in tech, sort of.
So basically that means it could be two reasons. One, maybe you're doing something which is not of your interest, or maybe you're just forcing yourself to do that. Or so I would suggest that experiment, like I answered initially, right? experiment, do a lot of research to try and identify what is something that is really interesting to you. Maybe what you're doing right now, or maybe what you are pursuing is not of your interest. Maybe you're not getting that satisfaction level because you're just forcing yourself to do it, or maybe you just got into it because you do not have an option. So it's always important to identify and do something which you really love and find your niche, right? For that, you need to experiment. Just do a Google search and see what are the trending skills in tech right now, and go evaluate your strengths and weaknesses to see where you actually fit into, to identify your niche and find out what you really love doing. There must be something in tech which you really love doing. Maybe it could be designing or coding or something which you feel, oh wow, this is something that's interesting to me and I want to pursue it further. And the day you find that niche of yours, then I don't think you would get bored, or you might feel like, oh, this is not something I really want to do, because it's important you find what you really love doing. Like, I love creating content, and I don't get bored of doing it, but I put in a lot of efforts in trying to see what other content can I create that's helpful for people. I really enjoy and love doing it. So just do research, just experiment, connect with people from different backgrounds and skill sets, talk to them and see what is it that you really love doing.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right. So I'm going to get Ayobami. Thank you, Praise. Ayobami, you are up. Ayobami.
Hi, Carlos. Thanks.
Hey, how you doing?
To be here.
Great.
We met at SPPG. How are you?
Oh, very, very well. Good. How did it go?
Very well. We'll
Excellent.
talk about that another time.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep.
Mahi, very quick one from me. For people who come from a creative media or creative industries background, I just wanted to explore how that space sort of interacts with the tech space, and are there many opportunities in that space, especially at senior level? So that's my question. Thank you.
Hello. So, okay, when you
Mahi.
say creative media, do you mean like digital marketing and stuff, or social media, SEOs and so? Because so I do not have much understanding or knowledge in that particular industry in tech, but I can definitely try and connect you with people I know who come from this industry, that they can help you find or let you know how that industry is up and running.
That's helpful. Sorry, not to hug the meeting or anything, but I actually meant more creative broadcast media, that kind of video production, that sort of thing. So how does that meet tech, if you see what I'm saying?
Understood. So I'm sorry. I do not have much industry in that, and I don't want to answer something which I'm not sure or have knowledge of. Probably I can just do some research, or I can just send me a DM, and I would connect you with the people I know who are in that particular space, who can help you out with.
Brilliant. Thank you.
That works. Thank you so much again. Let's get Wicker. I've got Wicked Man, Good Pete. How you doing? Go for it.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My question is, I'm a university student and a psychology student, and I'm interested in cybersecurity. So I would like to know sources I can get information from and where I can start learning from.
Okay.
Amazing. I pinned a tweet on top of the space in terms of where you can learn cybersecurity or resources where you can learn cybersecurity for free. Please feel free to check the tweets on the top. I'm pinning a lot of tweets on the top with regards to different skill sets, resume tips, free resources and so on, remote jobs, all the questions that people are asking. Please feel free to check the tweets on the top of the space.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, great one, nice one. Good job on your search, man. Appreciate you being a student and not on calling and all. Let's have Chibweze Oga. Chibweze, hi.
Hi, Carlo. How you doing?
I am very well, thank you.
Right, good to be here. I think I just came in at the right time. The gentleman who just spoke about cybersecurity, and then tried a couple of other people saying they want to transition to tech.
Yeah.
What I do like to say is, I think a lot of people try to make these things a bit too complex. And of course, I appreciate that for people who, someone who hasn't been in tech who's done something completely different, it can be a bit scary. But I think there's quite a lot of things, a lot of resources online there, and especially for the guy who is talking about cybersecurity. I would suggest you really keep it simple. I think when people start learning, they try to be everywhere at the same time and then end up not learning anything. I would recommend starting Udemy. Probably get a paid course and even the pinned courses around here. Just stick with one and then try and see if you can finish a specific course on cybersecurity. Say if you want to learn something about SOC analyst jobs, for instance, if you pick a course, see if you're able to finish one of it, and then see how you feel about that, and instead of running around and then going to different YouTube channels trying to learn everything at the same time, pick a course, finish it, and then see how you feel about that.
All right, super. That's good advice, I would say. So thank you. So let me get Mahi, go ahead.
Hello, we have Animan here. I guess he wants to answer the question of the data scientist portfolio.
Please go ahead, Annie. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me up. I think the question placed us was how to showcase your portfolio as a data scientist.
Mm-hmm.
And I do understand as a web developer, I think you have the portfolio, you can easily showcase your skill set, but as a data scientist, it's very difficult. I did work in data science before starting working as a blockchain developer. So the one way you can showcase your skill sets as a data scientist is participate in Kaggle competition. There is a Kaggle competition. You can build up your portfolio there by participating in the competition, and there is also paid competitions. If you are able to solve or showcase good results in the competition, you will be awarded for that, and also it will help you to build your portfolio there. So when you are applying for jobs, you can attach your Kaggle profile there, and one can view and analyze that how you are good at data science. That will help you to get jobs in data science. I hope that answers.
That helps a lot. And guys, remember this podcast or this space is going to be saved on the podcast, so you can go back and just listen again to this, and also look at all the pinned tweets. But the pinned tweets, it's going to be on Twitter. Try to copy them out. Try to follow Mahi so you can always get back and see those pinned tweets. But the audio itself, I'll save it on the podcast so you can go back and listen. But just try to get the pins now, or try to follow Mahi. That would help a lot. Let's get Abu Tech. That's T.I. Steven. How are you, sir? Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, I want to make a little contribution about people trying to choose a career in tech. Now, I think sometime last year, when I started, I'm one of those people that I wanted to learn everything. I bought a data science course. I was watching lots of videos, and I was actually. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please.
So I was watching lots of videos, and I was thinking that I'm not really.
But you got to go quick to the question, if you don't mind, Abu Tech. We've got lots of guys who want to speak here.
Like a contribution now. So what I'm trying to say now, and I made a tweet in respect of if you want to choose a career in tech based on what you are studying or your discipline. So I made a tweet. I made it in my pin post, and I said, okay, this would be like a guide. I wish people can just go through it and see, okay, this is what as a guide for me to transition into tech. I think it will help you down going from learning one thing, or you are learning this one and you're not understanding and you don't.
Can you send me a DM for that? Let's take a look, and I can try to maybe share out to people that want to learn. Just send me a DM of that, and I'll do a share to folks. Right? Thank you so much. Let's ask Eze Cesar. Eze Cesar, how you doing? Please unmute, sir.
Good evening.
How are you? Good day.
Good evening, Mr. Kano. Good evening, Mike. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, please, I'm going straight to the question. I want to start a career in tech, and I've chosen to study more for data science. but it seems to be so broad. There are so many terms, so many branches. I want to know the prospect. What's the basic for the beginners in data science?
Mahi, did you get that?
Yeah, so you want to understand what are the different kinds of opportunities available in data science, or what kind of skill sets are available in data science?
I want to understand where to start from in data science.
Where to start? So I have pinned a tweet on top of the space in terms of some free certifications and resources where you can find data science opportunities and learn data science from. Please feel free to check that. That might help you to understand your question.
So there's lots of links. Also follow Mahi. Go through her timeline. She has a lot of information, from interviews to CVs to jobs, not just what she's pinning. Try to follow and go through her timeline. I did, and I was just impressed by all what is there. And it's all for free. And she's pretty open. Send me a DM. She wants to help, right? That's what we're trying to do today, to help. So please go through that TL, and then I'm sure you see someone that will basically help you out more or less, yeah? So thanks for calling in.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Hey, Abdel Naya Dominic, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello.
Hello, this is Dominic from Lagos, Nigeria.
Dominic, hello. Nice to have you.
I have a question that I want to ask.
Okay.
Which is one, I'm a chemical engineer.
Okay.
Which I specialize in petrochemicals and carbon synthesis. But now, I find it difficult to get a job in Nigeria. I have started my job, I'm not able to find any. And I find myself in a telecom environment whereby I'm doing a kind of technical support, and it is not what I enjoy doing. I want to switch the career, and I don't know which career path I should take, because I myself have never wanted to consider myself to be in tech. I always want to be in the oil and gas. That is one. Number two is doesn't mean that this platform really recruits for we that are seeking for job, or doesn't mean there's only meant for tech. Thank you very much.
The second question, I think what we're trying to do here is we're trying to give information and leads to folks that want to get into tech. Either they are brand new or they are already in tech and want to know what to do next. So we brought in a very professional that is experienced and in that sector to say this is what you should look out for, this is where you should go to, these are what are needed. And she's also taking questions, open-ended questions now. So if you had a specific question, you could ask her. That's what we're doing.
Which is the specific question I have, which is number one.
Okay, so
I want to switch the career as an area of the chemical engineer. So I don't really know, because currently I'm trying to do machine learning as well. And I find it very difficult. I'm just looking for a solution. What can I do, to help me, excel, that is achieve my dream or kind of job I want to do. That is what I'm asking.
Okay, let Mahi take a crack at it. Mahi.
So, I've been mentioning this, if machine learning, maybe that's not something you really want, because for machine learning, right, you need to have a lot of mathematical background or mathematical understanding in order to understand the concepts of machine learning and artificial intelligence. If you're finding it tough, maybe that's not your niche. So there are a lot of resources on top of this space where I've pinned in terms of how you can evaluate yourself, in terms of how to find your niche and what are the steps you must take in order to identify, okay, this is what my niche is and what you can do in order to do that. I've also pinned a lot of resources in terms of different tech stacks or different technical skills that are in demand in 2022. Look into that and do some research and to see what is it something that you're really interested in. Now, you say you're from the chemical engineering background. I do not know which industry in tech you can be a good fit for with chemical industry, but you can just look into the resources I've pinned on the top to see if you can find some answers there.
Okay, I think that helps a lot, right, Mahi? So, Mahi, let me get Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, you said you're on the call. Are you back now? You can unmute and speak, Ifeanyi. Go ahead.
Please give me 10 minutes. I'm on the way.
Gotcha. Let me get Joe to speak, please. Joe, how are you?
Fine. Thank you so much, sir, for putting this together for us.
You're very welcome.
Okay, sir. So I can write clean codes with Python programming language, and I want to specialize in machine learning. I don't know how much opportunities are in machine learning, so that I will not go about investing so much time such that in the end it won't worth it. And number two, I've heard so much about getting paid internship. I don't know how to go about that too. Number three, I understand that without a good knowledge of coding, you can't be extremely good at cybersecurity. So it will mean the world to me if I get good answers to these questions I just asked.
So I have paid internship. I have cybersecurity. What's that third question again?
Cybersecurity question, like, must you be really good at writing computer codes before you can make excel well in cybersecurity?
Great. And the first one was?
The first one is opportunities in machine learning.
Okay. Mahi, did you get all three?
Yeah, so in terms of, there are different questions. One thing which I would say is, yes, machine learning is definitely trending skill in 2022. And yes, there are a lot of opportunities in machine learning, right? And that was your first question. Second question, in terms of where you can get paid internships. Now, I'm not sure which part of the world you're from, but I do have
I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, great.
Yes.
There are, I pinned the tweet on the top where you say where you can find tech internships both for Africa, India, and worldwide. So you can just click on the pinned tweet on top of the space to find great tech internships in Africa. And I also have a lot of resources. I can't pin all the resources on top of the space, but if you can just go to my Twitter profile, on the search bar, just put Africa, and you would find all the tweets I've put specifically for Africa in terms of tech startups, internships, consulting companies you can look out for who will help you find jobs and so on. That should help you answer your second question in terms of paid internships. And what was your third question again?
Being good at writing codes before excelling so well in cybersecurity. Next.
Okay, so in cybersecurity, there are different roles, and not all the roles require you to have coding experience or knowledge, and not all the roles in cybersecurity requires you to code. There are different roles in cybersecurity where you do not have to do any kind of coding. So I suggest you again to look into the pinned tweets to learn about different cybersecurity skill sets that are available, which is code specific only, and some which do not need coding. So you can identify which is it that you really want to do and pursue certifications and learn things accordingly.
Mahi, could you talk more about this African internship? Could you just talk more about it once you're done with Joe? Just to keep a bit more color.
Okay.
Joe,
Yes,
Joe, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know if there are groups where we can join of these things on.
Mahi is asking about if there are groups or forums he can join more or less to sort of more or less guide him. Is there anything like that you have?
That I can ask questions today with people that are good.
For cybersecurity?
No, machine learning precisely.
Machine learning.
Data science.
Machine learning and data science. And for data science, I pinned some resources on the top. But for machine learning, I can just you can join communities like Discord. Discord is a great community for someone who's getting into tech. You can join Discord and identify a group. You can just join Discord or GitHub and search by machine learning and artificial intelligence. You will find groups specific to that particular skill set. and that should help you. Like you can connect with the people who are in that particular industry or ask questions, technical questions, and you can get a lot of help there.
Excellent.
Sorry.
No. Hey, Joe, I gotta let others speak. Sorry about that. Yeah, I gotta let others speak. Mahi, I want to talk about more about that African internship you just mentioned. Could you just talk a bit more? Then I'm going to have Odim speak.
Yeah, I mean, the links which I shared are for internships that are available in Africa, specifically to Africa, that's paid internships. So these are the different websites which provides internships in Africa.
Yeah.
And I'm also pinning a tweet on the top in terms of tech startups in Africa where people can look out for, like, if you are interested to find jobs in startups, and if you're currently in Africa, then these are just the resources where you will find paid internships and jobs which are specific to Africa.
Okay, Maya, I'm going to hit you on DM to send me all those links so I can also share, because people are going to come and ask me when you go about all these links. I'm going to just make sure I hit you up to send me a DM so that I can share after the space is done. But let me have Odim. Sure. Thank you so much, Maya. Odim, go ahead.
Yeah. Greetings and nice meeting everybody in the room. And thank you, Carlos, especially for this space. I really enjoy it since I joined. So I'm really interested in tech. In short, I'm already in tech about like 2 years ago. I'm good at the front end development. I'm working my way back end development. I'm currently running a course on software engineering. So, but my question. I sometimes feel so constrained, like I have a phobia or just feel like, what if I'm not able to do it, or what if I'm not able to do it to the client satisfaction? So some of this phobia sometimes makes me not to apply for opportunities or to go and work in the kind of so. I feel like maybe I'm not confident with myself, and I know that I can do some of those things.
I'm going to make you ask a question. So your question is more or less, are you asking about how to get confidence? Can you?
It's like I'm not confident about myself if I'm applying for a job opportunity or not taking a client.
Okay, I hear you. Mahi, do you want to take a crack at that?
Confidence confidence comes with experience, right?
Precisely.
So it's okay to feel you're not being confident. That's totally okay. I guess everyone, at least once in a lifetime, feels that way. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
But the only thing you need to do is not feeling that way constantly, right?
Sure.
So if you feel that you're not feeling confident or you're feeling nervous frequently, that's a skill you need to work on. Probably just try talking to more people, just try coming up on spaces like this, share your views and thoughts where you can probably break that confidence barrier you have.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, as you grow in the industry, as you start talking to more people, as you start working on different stuff, I guess that confidence is something that builds up slowly. It's okay to feel that way, but then it's not okay not wanting to work on that. So you know you have something, it's a weakness that you can convert into strength. I guess you just need to work on how you can break that confidence barrier in you and how you can come out being more confident. So that's okay. I mean, even I was like that. Everyone, I'm sure, in our careers would have felt that way. But I was just listening to your question, and you said that confidence barrier is something that stops you from applying to opportunities. Now that's bad. You're just missing out on opportunities just because you don't find yourself sounding confident. I guess you should go ahead and start hitting that apply button. Go ahead, apply for opportunities, because the more you start interviewing, the more you start connecting with people, talking to people, eventually, I think you would start sounding more confident. But if you stop yourself from not applying to opportunities only because you feel that I'm not that confident, maybe you're just losing out on a lot of opportunities. So that's okay. You might get rejected once, you might just get rejected twice, but the third time it would just click. So that's fine. Just go ahead and apply for opportunities. Come on Twitter Spaces. There are a lot of Twitter Spaces which is specifically to improve your public speaking. Specifically, you have like casual chatting Twitter Spaces. Go ahead and join those Twitter Spaces and request the mic, speak, and that's how you build confidence.
Nice. I like that, Mahi. That was very quote unquote motherly. Thank you so much, right? So let me get Anna. Anna, hi. How you doing? Unmute and let's have your contribution.
I'm doing great. I want to respond first to the guy who said he was a chemical engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see people switching careers without exploring the depth and beauty of their own industry. And I think it's short-circuiting yourself to say you're switching into tech. I think the world is already tech on its own. Everything is globalized. And there's no way you work in industry now that you're not exposed to any technical tools. For example, I'm a reliability engineer. I work as a reliability engineer. But if I count the tech tools and solutions I use, I'm sure it could be more than what someone that's calling himself tech is using. So I see people switching from law, engineering, solid industries, especially globally, jumping into project management, ServiceNow, Scrum Master. And those industries, these things you're jumping into are saturated. The whole world is going there. But your own core area has big opportunities. Yes, why I would not discourage people from switching to tech. But I think it's also good people explore the beauty of their own industries before they just keep jumping into getting certifications. I've seen people with 6, 7 certifications, no jobs. AWS, Amazon Web Services, project management, ServiceNow. So I think people should explore their industries too by the side while also don't switch totally and jump what you've built upon and just run into tech. That's my thing.
Great. And Odim, someone sent me a DM that he'd like to offer you an internship in this company for 3 months. So if you're interested, Odim, send me a DM and I will send it over to the gentleman that wants to give you an internship, and then you can see if that's going to be a right fit for you. So if you are interested, just send me a DM and then we can link both of you on. So we've done an hour so far with Mahi. Mahi, the requests are a lot. We just want to, again, thank you for just staying here with us. Mahi is going to be gone in about 30 minutes, right? So I'm just going to ask everyone, just come in, go straight to the question, ask and learn. Anna, thanks for that contribution. Let's get the foundation.
Carlo, something else, Carlo, 1 minute.
Go for it.
People should also take it easy when they go into tech. Yeah, you can start with things like SQL, database administrator. It's kind of easier. It gives a foundational outlook to IT. Then you can build upon that, as again just going straight for the really difficult ones.
Yeah, I wish I knew this ecosystem. I don't. I'm a civilian in tech, but this is just a space I want to do to get folks, in. So let me get the foundation. What's foundation? KY Eaton. Did I get that right? Twitter names are hard to read. Yeah.
It's foundational ethnic. It doesn't matter though. Thank you very much.
Yeah, go for it.
Good evening. Hope I am clear.
Yes, go ahead. Just speak up a bit and you're good.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, thank you for this space. So my question, I have a few questions. Like Odim, I think Odim asked, he said something about confidence. Yes, because I got into tech a couple of years ago, maybe a year or two ago, and I think there are a lot of things I think I know, but the confidence to put myself out there has been an issue. So how do you build confidence? And another question I have is the networking aspect. When in tech, I am quite aware that you should network, because networking is what gives you opportunities. I am aware of that. But then how do you network? How do you reach out to those people? How do you get involved in those things concerning tech? That's the second question.
Okay,
and
let's
the third, just this last one, please. Just this. The third one is okay, because you can consider I think you can consider digital marketing as tech and some other things. So I'm a person who knows little bit of a lot of things, but what I like most and what I'd like to get into most is tech in the aspect of web development. So I don't know what should I do about being a jack of all trades and master of none?
Interesting question.
Thank you.
Mahi, did you get all that? Are you right? Did you get, he has 3 questions. Did you get all that?
Yeah, I think I would just go one by one. And so I would start by answering your last question. How to be a jack of all trades, master of none. That trend actually does not work in tech, right? I don't know why you need to be a jack of all trades and master of none, but rather you can be a master of one skill, right? You can be a proficient, you can just be proficient or really talented in one particular skill and know that end to end, rather than just putting your hands working on multiple skill sets and not being proficient or having an understanding of anything, right? I can give an example for this as a recruiter, because I have resumes that come to me and say a person is applying for a Java developer, right? That person's resume would have 10-15 skills, and it just becomes difficult for me to understand if that person is giving me multiple choice options. Like, if not for Java, you can also consider me for the other 14 skills I have mentioned on my resume, right? So it just becomes difficult for employers, recruiters, and anyone you're sending your resume or connecting with to understand what exactly is your interest or what exactly is you really want to do. It just shows that you do not have much direction in your career path, and you're just dirtying your hands with every skill that's coming up in the tech industry. So you do not have to be a jack of all trades. Just try to be master of one skill, learn one skill end to end, and be proficient in that particular skill set. And simultaneously, you can start exploring other skills and keep yourself updated. So that's the way you need to do if you want to be in tech. And in terms of how to do networking, I guess as a job seeker, you must do strategic networking. So when I say you need to do networking, that does not mean that you go ahead and send requests to every people on LinkedIn, go ahead and send requests to everyone on Twitter, Instagram. No, you must have a strategic way of networking. So if there is a particular career skill or an industry you're really interested in, that's the industry and skill set you must connect with people on. So if it's cybersecurity, try connecting with people on Twitter, on LinkedIn, who are already working in cybersecurity. Send them a DM. When you send them a DM, do not just say hi, hello, wait for them to respond. No one has that amount of time. So connect with that person, say like, I've been following your work. I really love the work you're trying to do in terms of the cybersecurity space. I just want to connect with you and try and understand more about cybersecurity, because I want to venture or pivot into this skill. So it would be glad if I can have a 10-minute conversation with you. And messages like these are something which will catch the attention of people, and they know that you're reaching out to them for a genuine cause, genuine reason, and you would definitely get responses from them. Right, and this is how you connect with people. And another way, like on Twitter, you have these Twitter spaces. You can come up on Twitter spaces, talk to people. Like today's space is all about connecting, right? We had a lot of speakers like Anna, Kalu, Vaislev, Annie, and so many people who've come up on space. You have a lot of listeners down below. You can just click on their profiles. You might find like-minded people, and this is how you connect. This is another way of networking, right? So just you leverage social media to the best, and be considerate of people's time, be considerate of the amount of efforts they're doing for you. And yeah, this is how you connect. I'm not sure what your first question was, if I understood it right.
Ooh, I think it's off, because I take them off so I can create space for more to comment. Yeah.
No worries.
If it sends me a DM, I could ask you. I'm trying to be very, very partial to get ladies to speak, right? None has come, but I have Omolola. I don't know if she's a lady, but I'm trying to get where the ladies are, right? So if you guys can come up and speak, I would appreciate that. Omolola, hi, you've got the floor.
Hi, I am a lady.
There you go.
I I actually want to give advice, if I may, as someone who came from zero background in any kind of tech. I was an even passive computer user at my job. I mean, I was using just Word and PowerPoint, and I managed to translate into a tech career, which I've been in for about 6 months now.
Yeah.
And so first thing I did was to research everything that was out there, what the possibilities were. And then I began to narrow down based on day in the life videos on YouTube.
Okay.
Day in the life videos of a cybersecurity, Power BI developer, blah, blah, blah. And then I narrowed down based on what those people were doing, what appealed to me. And this is my path. You can take another path, to get your information. But this is what worked for me.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
So after settling on Power BI as my tool of choice, I then went to look at the career path toward becoming a Power BI developer or a BI developer or a data analyst. And it said to start with SQL. Someone said that here, it is one of the easiest languages. It's not easy, it'll take dedication, but it's pretty straightforward if you can get a hang of it. SQL, SQL, it's something that most people in tech need. You would need it in some ramification. And then I built up from there. For people who are looking for confidence, what I was advised to do is, what is the information? What is this concept? And then how is it used? And then get an example of how I've used that in my day-to-day or in work. And that came from doing projects. So I was doing Power BI projects to give me examples when I got to the interview of how this particular concept could be used. And that's how I got through my interviews.
Nice.
I knew the definition, I knew how it was used and how I have used it in the past.
Nice.
And this got me through my interviews. Now, Google's my best friend here at work. I have the fortunate grace to work from home about 2 days a week. Nice. So I have my personal laptop, never Google on your company's VPN or whatever. I have my personal laptop here, and I'm still using a lot of resources. I'm still tuning into these Twitter spaces. I'm looking for people in my area to network with. This will take time. It will take a lot of dedication. I pretty much went underground for about a year trying to learn SQL, ETL, and then now Power BI. So it's doable. You just have to dedicate time. Yeah. Your confidence will come with you knowing the material. Speak to yourself. Talk to yourself in the mirror. There are so many resources out there on YouTube, interview questions, people on interviews. Yeah. It's all out there. You just need to know where to access it. And I want to say thank you to Yukalu and Mahi for this space.
Thank you so much, Amolola. I mean, those are some good nuggets you dropped there. Thank you for giving us the practicals, how you did it. I hope someone can learn from you as well. So time is running fast, guys. Let's get, I've got my guy here, TGB Links. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great, go for it. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank God, and thank God, Carlo, actually, and I'm a software developer. Though I've been into this tech field for like 7 years, and currently now I'm working more of building communities, trying to help young people, learn this whole tech skill. So my question is this: how I've been doing this with my own resources and my own funds, and it's been productive. So I am asking, or I want to know how or where I can gain access to people or organizations that will, help me catalyze or help me make the whole thing faster. Because my goal is to build communities in tech.
So what are you asking for? Are you asking for funds or for resources? More resources.
More of communities that can partner.
Okay.
And I gain access to these communities that can partner with me to bring in more Nigerians, especially into the tech industry.
Gotcha. Mahi, you want to take a crack at that?
I'm not not sure if it's very specific to like Africa or so, but then I can refer you to Discord, GitHub, and Twitter itself are great great communities where you can network and connect with people. I guess there are, if you can just search by Nigeria tech communities on Twitter search bar, you will have a list of communities which are very tech communities who are doing really great and amazing work for Africa or Nigerian citizens. So that way you can also connect. But I would just suggest, if it's tech specific, GitHub and Discord are amazing communities, open source communities where you can connect with people. And even on LinkedIn, you can use the LinkedIn groups. It is country specific and also skill specific. You can connect with people there as well.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kalu.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, can I talk a little bit about the tech community I'm building?
Not really. We can do that later on. I appreciate the question. Just want to get more guys to do speak. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. I've got Idris Kabir. Idris, hi. How you doing?
Can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you, Idris. Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening. Yeah, great. So basically, someone asked about burning out when you're exhausted with regards to your stack. I think it revolves around being identifying what you want to be. I have 50 years experience in software engineering. I'm currently building a lot of small startups here in Kano, Nigeria. And what I realized is a lot of youth are just so eager to just get to the top without understanding the journey that it takes. It takes a lot of time, dedication, consistency, and the rest of it. So yes, if you get burnt out in one aspect of programming, you can move on to another one. Take for example, you started as a front-end engineer. After a while, you realize that you are repeating almost everything day in, day out. So you can try other aspects like DevOps or back-end engineering, or even testing. Or you can even go up to project management or architecture, design architecture, and the rest of them. Then the second input I want to make is the person who talked about imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is everywhere. Even with my expertise, I've worked in India, I've worked in Kenya for 3 years, India for 2 years. I still have imposter syndrome. Sometimes I feel I'm not too confident enough to face this client. But one of the things that I do to reduce that syndrome is one, I do a lot of engagement with junior developers. I do open source contribution. So you can find projects around your dev stack and try to contribute a lot into it. That will give you that will boost that confidence in you as to, yes, I have contributed to a solution that is being accepted worldwide. And that way you will be able to build your confidence.
Great.
Then someone
Great. Idris, I gotta let others speak, if you don't mind.
Okay. I think I'll stop here for now.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Debo, let me have you jump in right quick, Debo. Thank you so much, Idris.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kalu. And let me quickly say congrats on your book.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a couple of months now.
Appreciate that.
Thanks for the spaces. Thanks, Mahi. I wish I had something like this about 5.5 years ago when I moved out of Nigeria and relocated to Europe. But it's never too late. I have been here and there in the last 3 years that I decided to move into tech, taking courses, done a couple of things, including doing a full stack software development here in Germany where I live. A boot camp for a 13-month period. I've also personally gone deep into project management and Scrum myself, and I've quite advanced in that respect. But I'm open to, so I'm just putting this out in case there's anyone that wants to that can offer internship. I'm open to remote internship. If there is any such opportunity, Kalu, I would appreciate.
Let me take it from there, Debo. Let me take it from there. Mahi, I've got like almost 10 or so requests on DM asking for internship. I know you're going to send me something, but do you have any? If you do have something for internships I could share as well, that would just be perfect. So for Debo, for all the guys asking for internships, Mahi is on the spot now. Mahi, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did pin the tweet on top of the space, Debo, and to anyone looking out for internships worldwide, India or Africa specific, just scroll through the tweets I pinned on top of the space. You would find an internship tweet there. Just click on that to see the resources. So I also pinned lots and lots of resources on the top, which I felt people would, it would take a little time to scroll through my feed or search. That's why I'm just pinning a lot of resources. If you're not interested in coding, there are different set of skill sets I pinned on top of the tweet on the space in terms of different no-coding careers, internships, project management, cybersecurity, startups in Africa, how to evaluate if tech is the right career for you, resume tips, free courses from top universities. Microsoft is also having a learning program where you can learn cybersecurity, Python, and different tech skills. Curated websites for data science, cybersecurity, Python, remote jobs. You name it, you have it. So I have pinned all the tweets on top of the space. So while the space is still up and running and it's live, go ahead, click on the resources, save it, bookmark it for your future use. And I also wanted to say one thing, that there is Mrs. AK who is down in the listeners, who's been really a patient listener. She does an amazing job for cybersecurity professionals.
I'm looking for her.
She helps the folks in cybersecurity. So if anyone here in the listener space who is interested to pivot or get into cybersecurity, she is the right person. Just search by her Twitter name is IRE Tech. That's Mrs. 8K. Just go ahead, follow her, and send her a DM if you need to pivot into cybersecurity.
Thank you so much. I've got her, Mrs. AK IRE Tech. Thank you so much for that shout out and direction, Mahi. So guys, we've got about 10 minutes to go. Mahi, question for you from my personal finance community. They're asking me to ask you, unless they would kick me out. What are the tech skills for finance, asset management, stockbroking? What are those direct tech skills that this sector can, where can we transit to if you're from the finance background?
In any of these tech skills, there are no direct tech skills but if someone is coming from finance, right? So I know one tech skill which I've hired is product management. Product management in finance, product management in risk management are definitely go-to tech skills if someone wants to pivot from a finance background. And you need to look out for fintech or investment banking kind of companies because you can put your existing knowledge or experience to good use. So that's the one skill I could think of right now. But there are multiple skills, right? Like these are the skills I have hired and I have experience on, so I can talk basis that. But there are multiple skill sets. If you just Google search, you would find it. But product management definitely is trending, and a lot of companies seek product managers with finance background. So that's a great profile. Or if not, you have risk assessment managers or compliance security analysts. So these are a few skill sets you can try for if you're coming from the finance background.
Thank you so much. That helps a lot, guys. All right, guys. So just going to do a quick one. Obida, rescue teams. Please go ahead. Let's keep it very short. I'm trying to get as many as we can in about 7 minutes.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
How you doing?
Yeah, fine. I just entered into the field of data analysis. So, and I'm currently into Excel now. So, I want to know, is it necessary to know about VBA in Excel analysis?
Okay, quick question. Mahi, did you get that? What's VBA? Do you know what VBA is? I don't know. Should he break it? Obi, what's VBA?
I quite did not get the question, Kalu. I mean, if you could just repeat. I don't know. There's a lot of noise. Am I the only person listening?
No, I had a noise too. Obi, send me a DM. I want to send me a DM. I'll send it to Mahi. Let's get Funtun, Phoenician. So D Mike Hills. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Michael, and I'm connecting from Nigeria.
How you doing?
There's something I wanted to make inquiries of. Now, it's the aspect of resume. You understand? Now, most of the time, before you apply for a role in tech, you need to maybe craft a resume to fit into the job requirements, like so that you could pass through the ATS system, pass through the ATS that the company might be using and stuff like that. Now, I kind of feel that some persons would actually have the skill, but they don't really know how to craft that resume to put it so that you pass through the ATS and also get to the recruiter or something like that. So that's kind of a limiting factor for some of us, you understand? So I don't know if there's any way or any recommendations that any of the senior tech professionals can give to us that are juniors, so as to help us craft out our resume. Because every job we see and we feel that we can deliver in these jobs, we don't usually get the right words to use. And by virtue of that, when you send in your resume, the next thing you just get a rejection. So you got a rejection because you LinkedIn, see somebody saying that you got like 300 rejections. That's just like proof of your resume and the rest of them. So are there websites that you could link us to? I've seen articles that says that we should use action words. Sometimes you don't really know the action words.
Okay, got you. Let's get Mahi to jump in, right? Great question, Mahi.
I have the resources pinned on top of the space for resume tips, and also resources or websites on where you can have your resume screened for free before you actually apply, just so that it is ATS, that's application tracking system friendly. The resources are pinned on top of the space, so just scroll through and you should be able to find all the resume tips and the resources.
Excellent. Let's get Dakwo. D-Bulk. How you, Dakwo? Go ahead.
Hello, guys. Good evening.
Dakwo, fine.
Dakwo, fine. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
You're on the matrix. You've got very, very bad audio. Be quick about it, sir. Let's get Roland 2036, please. Roland, hi, how you doing? We've got about a minute or so to go. Roland? Okay, this is going to be the last one, guys. I'm so sorry. Sammy Sizzle.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kalu, for this wonderful opportunity.
You're very welcome.
Let me go straight to the point. My question is, now I have interest in blockchain technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know the resources that are available for me to develop myself in this area.
Yeah.
And also the opportunities available for me also in this area. So that's my question.
Excellent. Mike, that's a good question to sort of round it up. Yeah.
Yeah, blockchain resources and where to find resources for blockchain, it is available on my timeline. Mm-hmm. Just go to the search bar and use the keyword blockchain or Web3 to find the resources. And it's just send me a DM. I'll send you a link of a person who shares a lot of great content and resources. Or you can just search by Cody's Alert. Okay, codysalert.com. This is a great website. It's also there on Twitter. They share amazing resources on blockchain and Web3. So that's a recommended website. Let me just try to pin the Twitter feed on top of the space.
Great, thank you.
Yes, and also the opportunities available in this area.
That's also there on my timeline. Just so to anyone asking all these questions, I would just say that scroll through my timeline or just search on the search bar of my profile, just put a keyword and you should find all the relevant tweets. There are lots and lots of resources already which is put up in terms of websites, resources, certifications, jobs, and so on.
Yeah.
So that should be able to help you.
Great, guys. So, guys, thank you all. Let me just say this, Mahi. The one word I can say, apart from saying thank you to you, is just how I appreciate your openness to share knowledge, to guide. You're asking people to send DMs. You're going to connect them. We don't take it for granted. We're Africans, and when someone opens up their hands to us, we are very, very grateful that you've done this. Not just to come, but to come with all this information to help. We are very, very grateful. Trust me. To all those trying to speak that we couldn't get in, I do apologize. We're just trying to be very mindful of Mahi's time. So what I'm going to do is this. Once the Mahi goes, I will leave the room open. I'm not a tech guy. If a tech guy wants to come up and moderate, I will put you up. You guys can speak. The link will also be there, so you can keep on the links, right? But I'll stop the recording now, and it'll be on the podcast just with Mahi. But if you guys want to keep speaking and learning from each other, that is perfectly fine. I just want to say thank you, especially to you, Mahi. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And yeah, if you want to say a word or two, I would love that.
Thanks a lot, Kalu. I really appreciate having me here, and I hope I was able to add a lot of value and help as many people as I can. I would definitely want to be more in the space, but I just have a lot of time constraints and work-related calls, which is asking me to sign off. But please feel free to send a DM. Like, I've already been responding to all the DMs that's coming my way, as in when I was talking here on the space. To those who asked me to connect you to other folks, like I promised, I'm connecting you to those resources, or I'm just sharing you the Twitter links so you can go ahead and connect with them. I would respond to your DMs maybe by the end of the day or by tomorrow, slowly and steadily, but you will definitely get a response. Feel free to check my timeline for all the resources. Like, I'm putting in a lot of research, and a lot of other content creators like me on Twitter put in a lot of efforts in identifying and researching and putting curated resources for you. So you just have to utilize those resources and start your tech career journey. You do not have to search and do your research yourself. So utilize those resources, share it with your network so someone or the other would be benefited. So yeah, if you need more help in terms of interviews or resume tips or anything, resources are available, but if you still need more help, please feel free to send a DM. If I cannot, I will definitely connect you with people who can. Thanks a lot, Kalu, and advance congratulations on reaching your milestone on Twitter. Oh, you have reached. Oh, okay. You've already reached. Kalu has reached 100K. Congratulations, guys.
Mahi, you're cracking me up. Thank you so much, Mahi. Yeah.
I was just like advanced, and I just looked at your profile, and it's 100K. So yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks a
Appreciate
lot
it.
for all that you do for the Tech Twitter and the Twitter community. You share a lot of knowledge in terms of personal finance, and so please feel free to follow our host, and also the other great folks are there down the line. You have Mrs. AK and Arshavi and so on, who provide a lot of info in Tech Twitter. Annie Man, another speaker who was here a couple of minutes ago, he shares a lot of content in terms of blockchain and Web3. So please feel free to follow these guys, engage with them, and network with them. And you never know how and where an opportunity can come and strike your door. So wishing you all the best, and I hope all of you land in the best of best jobs in tech.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Mahi. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. So, guys, the space is still open here, right? Who wants to co-host? I mean, when you speak tech, I don't really speak tech.